Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13, he says, this is the conclusion of the whole matter. We're talking about ends, and when it comes to what it ultimately all is about, and where I believe God wants it all to end, if you could wrap your whole life up and just conclude what it's all about, fear God and keep his commandments, for this is man's all. Well, then I think that everything that happens in our life, whether it is whatever project you're involved in, whatever gift and talent you're pursuing, whatever you're studying, whatever your work is, whatever your ministry is, well, all of that ultimately is about him. It's all him. This is man's all. And that's why if we look at any particular aspect of our life, don't understand how that, well, if we never, ever see something come to death in our life, or see success challenged, or see a particular thing that we know God blessed and anointed come to a point where we never let it go, then I think we just simply forget it's all about him. Because of the lawlessness of the human heart. And in the Amplified, I've got Bobby's Amplified Bible here, and I want you to hear how this does amplify this verse, because man, it really speaks to me. I think about some of the thoughts just in the way that this Amplified Bible fleshes out. Ecclesiastes 12 verse 13 says, all has been heard, the end of the matter is fear God, revere and worship him, knowing that he is, and keep his commandments, for this is the whole of man. Now listen, the full original purpose of his creation. In other words, you want to keep in touch with what you were actually created for, the purpose of your creation. It's all about him. Not only that, it goes on here and says the object of God's providence. The very source of God's blessing, the very source of God's direction and guidance, it's all in him. The root of character, the foundation of all happiness. When I think about that, it makes me think that if there's times in my life when I'm just not happy, the first question I ought to ask myself is it still all about him? Because he is the foundation of happiness. And as soon as it becomes about you, and as soon as it becomes about me, when we hold on to things and we won't let anything go in our life, we won't let anything die, you need to understand that sometimes things need to end in the short term so that we get the right end or the right conclusion in the long term. And the right conclusion ultimately is it's all about him. It's to the glory of God.